Hello, this is CNT 6519 Wireless Security and Forensics. Today's April 14, 2014. Our group project title is Extraction and Analyzing BlackBerry, iPhone, Android, and TomTom data using Cellebrite's UFED Physical Analyzer. This is group first. Our group members are Ariel Contreras, Jeffrey Dyer, Justin Curry, Louis Nchaltegi, and Shafak Chaudhry. We're going to start off with the UFED Physical Analyzer to show you guys a demonstration of how we can do a physical extraction of an iPod device. This is the introduction when you first open the UFED Physical Analyzer. You first have to go to Extract, then you go to iOS Device Extraction. This is going to start a little wizard. The first option that we're going to choose is Advanced Logical Extraction. Once we click on this option, you're going to have two more options that are going to come up. It's just telling you please to connect the device. As you can see, the next is not highlighted as the device is currently not connected. So what we do is we go ahead and connect the device. Once the computer recognizes the device, the next will go ahead and it'll be highlighted so you can go next. There we go. Then we'll click next. First option that we're going to choose is method 1. We're going to choose the default option of where to save this extraction to. Once we click next, this is going to go ahead and pull a physical extraction off the iPod device. This can take several minutes. Okay, now that the physical extraction has been completed, it lets me know here at the wizard that the extraction has been completed. This is the size of how much data I pulled off the iPod device and how long it took. It took 50 seconds. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. Close this out. I'm going to open the data extraction that I just did. So in this case, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to the default location of where it saves this to. I just did this today. So I'm going to open this dump file. Depending on your computer's hardware, this can take several minutes. Okay, now that we're back, we were able to go ahead and analyze all the data. Now that the physical extraction was done, the first screen that I get is just a summary page that basically just identifies everything that it was able to find in this iPod. For example, in this case, it lets me know who the Apple ID is, so the main user of the iPod device, the serial number, the product type, if it's encrypted, the device name, and just basic information about the device itself, like the OS version. And then you get a small summary, which they consider the device content, which just basically highlights the features of what I was able to find on this device. For example, you get the calendar events, call logs, carve strings, strats, contacts, cookies, etc. Anything that shows up in red means that it was a deleted event. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just means that at one point it was deleted, whether it was not needed or whatever the case was. So in this case, I'm going to start showing you some of those summaries so we can get to more exact details. So I'm going to go into contacts, for example. I'm going to click on contacts on the left-hand side, and we're going to open it up. As you can see, I've got these red X's. Basically just means that they were just deleted. They were contacts that were created and then deleted. In this case, you can see some of the contacts that I already have here. This is just general information about a regular contact. You can see their phone numbers, their names, address, anything else that I might have put in for that contact themselves. One of the next categories that I can go into is chats. Within chat, you can see all the iMessages that were sent between the user and other users. So in this case, you can see the participants, which will show you the communication between the users. For example, here you can see one that was done by this user, ENCHAUTL at Osceola K12FLUS. The start time was 4/9/2005 at a time of 12:54:32 p.m. And as you can see, you can already see the message. So if we were to click on it, you can see yes. And this is all I was able to retrieve out of that one message. However, there's other messages in here too. So if we can keep going down, you can see everything that keeps coming up. For example, in this case, you can see Omar Garcia was on Boxer. This is just a message that came in and whether the user replied yes or no. And it even tells you the source, the start time, and the last activity. Moving along, we can move forward to call log. Under call logs, you can see all the calls that were made on this device. In this case, this is all FaceTime call logs. So as you can see, this user went ahead and contacted this person on these dates and these times. And you can see how long the duration was. In this case, you are unable to retrieve the FaceTime video chat. However, it does let you know that it's a FaceTime. FaceTime was the source as they were doing the video chat at the time. You can also see any other type of call logs that they might have gone on within this device. But in this case, we don't really have anything else other than FaceTime. Moving along, we can see the cookies. This just shows you some of the cookies that were involved with the device. And anytime you go onto the internet, whether you're searching the web, you can see the domain name, the path of where it was leading this cookie at, the time when this was done, and you can see when the cookie was about to expire. In this case, I don't see any deleted devices or cookies, I should say. Going on to the next step, let's go to the user dictionary. It says 1,357 user inputs. So this just basically means these are just words that were just put into the dictionary whenever a text message is sent, and a special word was put into the dictionary so it wouldn't autocorrect it. In this case, like mentioned, there's 1,357 words that were put in this dictionary. And if you keep on scrolling along, you can see all the word entries that were placed in this dictionary. You can also see the wireless networks. This just basically says every place that this iPod has ever connected to that the physical extractor was able to pull from the device. In this case, you can see, for example, one at UCF WPA2. You can show the BSS ID, the last time it connected to it, and the type of security that there was. Another example is the CEIC 2013. This was a conference that the user had gone to last year, and you can see that the device still remembers this, the BSS ID, and it shows you the type of security that was enabled on that router at the time, wireless access point. It even tells you at the time that this happened and the date. And that's the end of the iPod forensics.
Okay, and now we're going to talk about Cellebrite extracting data from Android. Unfortunately, we were unable to extract data directly from the Android phone system due to the fact that in order for Cellebrite free version to analyze the data, you need to be able to root your phone, and nobody had a phone that was free to go ahead and void the warranty. So we decided to go ahead and utilize the free available sample data raw image file that was created from a third-party software by Cellebrite. So here is the Android YAS DD raw image file. We're going to go ahead and open this inside of the physical analyzer. As you can see, it does not give you any information. So the first thing that we need to do in order to get anything from this tool is to run the plugins. The Android phone system and file system is based off of the YAS2 file system. Therefore, we're going to run a plugin that's called YAS2. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the search into the run plugin menu. I'm going to type in YAS. I'm going to go ahead and select YAS2. Go ahead and press run, and this can take up to, for me it took about 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, but it all depends on the status of your computer. Now that the Android YAS2 file system has been reconstructed, you can see here on the extraction summary that you have some images, you have some text messages, you have the databases. It has a configuration file, and it also has the applications. In red, you can see the deleted content. So I'm going to go ahead and open up one of these tabs. I'm going to open up the applications. And right now, as you can see, as I spoke of earlier, you need to have root access. And you can see that as I circle around a few of the different data files. On the database, you can see the calendar DB, where exactly it's located at. It tells you the size, when it was created, when it was last modified, as well as when it was last accessed. as well as the text messages. You can see where they're located, but until we actually decode the SQLite databases that are located within the file system, we're not going to be able to actually look at the content that's within these different text files. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and decode the YAS2 databases with the SQLite. So we're going to go ahead and go to plugins, run plugin. We're going to go ahead and type in Android. We're going to select the Android databases, scripts. We're going to go ahead and run this. This as well is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. Once this is done, you should be able to go ahead and see the different content within the phone. Okay, now that all the databases have been decoded by running the Android database script, you can see right here that there's much more information that's provided. You can see that you have the Android ID, you have the calendars, you have the call logs, the contacts, the cookies, the emails, the installed applications, searched items, SMS messages, user accounts, web bookmarks, and web history. And as you can see any deleted data. Right now there's hardly any deleted data. I think we only have 1 deleted contact and 1 deleted cookie and 2 deleted emails. So the first thing I'm going to look at is the contacts. You can see who actually was called. You can see their phone number. You can see other contacts for this person. You can also see their Facebook account, looks like. Okay. I'm going to go to the web history. It shows you basically any type of sites that they've gone to in the last recent time, unless they've cleared their history. So you can see Quick Office for Android, Fathead Saloon. See the URL. You can see the amount of times that they visited the site. And you can also see the actual application that they used to access these sites, which was the Android browser. Next, we got the emails. You can see the timestamps of when these emails occurred. You can actually see the subject. And I believe that if you click on one of them, you can actually see the body of the email down below. As you scroll over, you can see who it's coming from, what type of source this has come from. So it looks like most of the people that's been in contact with this person has been using Gmail. You can see who it's coming from and to, as well as you have another section so that you can see the body and the account that these emails are coming to and from. And it also shows you if it was sent or if it was something that they actually received, and if they read it, or if the email is actually unread still. Looks like we have the install applications. You got Facebook. Everybody knows what Facebook is. It looks like you have the game Paper Tossed, Score Ninja, Tapfish. See all those different things. Shazam. From the looks of this looks like the search items are showing different types of applications that they're looking for, like Process Killer, to a Droid, X Constructor, PDF. Then we got some more text messages, the SMS messages. Looks like you had the timestamps, the inbox, the sent. You can see the body. You can see who actually sent these emails or these texts, and if these messages were actually sent by the user or if they were received and read. Here goes the user contacts account, where you can see the actual username, their actual password, which is pretty scary when you think about it. The fact that somebody can get to your phone, and if they get root access, they basically have unlimited access to do whatever they want, find out exactly what you've been doing on this phone. Got the web bookmarks. These look like standard bookmarks, like Amazon, Facebook, ESPN, New York Times. The URL doesn't really tell you any more information because they're just bookmarks. Got the web history, so you can see this person likes social media. They've been on Facebook. I think I've brought up the word Facebook a lot throughout this presentation for this system. We got Twitter. You also have Quick Office, Adobe Flash Player, and that looks like that is it for what Cellebrite will provide you if you actually can get a raw data image of the Android phone system. Again, Cellebrite only has been able to, for the free version, to allow us to do a standard physical extraction by iOS devices. And unfortunately, the only way you're going to be able to get any type of helpful data from Android is to root the phone and actually use a third-party software such as FTK Imager or Encase Imager in order to extract that data and make it into a raw data form so that you can go ahead and input that so you can extract the data.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Dyer, and I'm going to be presenting this portion of the presentation on TomTom device. And Cellebrite is unique in that it does offer, actually it's the only company that provides a solution to the encrypted TomTom trip log files that reside in the TomTom device's stat data folder. So Cellebrite is unique in that aspect. And for the sake of brevity, we've gone ahead and extracted the dump file. So you can see here the extraction summary report. And once this extraction has been completed, Cellebrite displays the TomTom GPS device summary. This report presents features regarding date and time of when the extraction process was initiated and when it was finalized. Let's see, the next section you can see here is the image hash information, displays whether or not any hash data is associated with the project, and if it is, a link is provided to access those details. The next section is for the device information, and here you can see this is for the TomTom. It does list the serial number, the model number of the TomTom, and also the unique identification number of the device. And so when you can see that the device content, we have 20 call logs that were captured and associated with the device. We can see that contacts were captured, numerous device locations were included, and we have a few images and databases and so on. So moving on, let's look at the call log. Or actually, let's move on to the call log. So you can see that the parties involved were recorded here in this column, and whether or not it was outgoing or incoming is recorded in this column. And then if any bookmarks or network information is associated, that'll also be included in the report. For the purposes of this dump, none was included. And on to the contacts tab, and this feature includes information regarding any contacts that were entered by the user on the device. An associated name is displayed, as you can see here. The next column lists any organization affiliated with the user if that information is input by the user, and of course a list of phone numbers is also included, and the user also can enter associated emails, other notes, and addresses, and groups can also be associated with it. Onto the device locations tab, and as you can see that the locations tab on the extraction summary features information regarding locations. You can see that timestamps are included, and also the GPS coordinates, longitude and latitude coordinates are also included with that. Onto the GPS Fixes tab. TomTom navigation device utilizes signaling information from 4 more satellites to obtain a GPS fix and basically determine the starting location for this device. This process can consume additional time if the GPS signal that's being broadcasted is either weak or obstructed by obstacles or buildings. So the quick GPS fix is a feature that's exclusive to the TomTom GPS device and allows the navigation device to to store information regarding location of information of the actual GPS satellites over the period of 1 week. So basically this allows the TomTom to more quickly associate with those satellites, calculate where the signal will be emanating in what direction from the GPS satellites, and thus expediting the location process. This is unique to the TomTom device. Now the GPS Fixes tab of the Extraction Summary Report displays information regarding any fixes that the user has created on the device. Here you can see the latitude and longitude. Elevation is included if that feature is enabled by the user, and if any map is associated by the user, that is going to just be displayed in the map column. Over onto the Journeys tab. Journeys tab on the Extraction Summary Report features information regarding journeys that were established by the user on the device. The columns display the start and end time of each journey, any waypoints that were established by the user on the device, and you also have the name of each journey is also included, along with any bookmark notes, and of course the source is going to be for the TomTom device. Okay. And the Locations tab on the Extraction Summary Report features information regarding locations. The column lists timestamps, relative positions that were included at the time that the stamp was created, and of course a description can be entered by the user. Associated addresses also included, the type of location, whether it's a favorite or some other type of address, and then there's also a few columns for marking maps, category, and any bookmark notes. And the final tab that we'll be looking at is the Images tab from the TomTom device. This features information regarding any images that were captured during the extraction process. Thumbnail images is displayed in the image column, as you can see, and the next column lists the image name, and the next column over is the path column, which features the path to the directory where the image file was stored on the device, and the next column over features the image size, and so the Cellebrite does capture the actual size of the image. That information could come in handy. If any metadata is included and is found by Cellebrite, it will be included in the next column over. And as you can see, the final columns, you can see where when the image was created, if it was modified, at what date and time it was modified, and the last time that the image was accessed. Final column references any bookmark notes that might have been created by the user. And this completes the TomTom GPS Extraction Summary Report.
So lastly, in conclusion to the Cellebrite UFED Physical Analyzer, in this demo, we went over the iOS, Android, and TomTom device. We were, due to time constraints, we didn't go over the BlackBerry. However, just as we showed you earlier, it follows the same procedure. You basically bring in the sample dump, and you can see all the components that it was able to retrieve out of the BlackBerry, such as SMS, MMS. You're able to even get BBM chats, and so on and so forth. So just again, the Cellebrite is a very intuitive, user-friendly mobile forensics tool of choice. It supports for iOS, Android, BlackBerry, and TomTom devices. Its capabilities are decoding, calendar, call logs, contacts, SMS, MMS, chats, application data, user account information, multimedia files, Python scripting, plugin management, analysis, malware detection, project analytics, timeline graph, advanced search, watch list, image carving, conversation view, SQLite database viewer. Lastly, reporting. It generates reports in PDF, HTML, XML, and Excel. So far, it's a great tool. We've definitely had a lot of fun using this tool throughout the semester, and we hope that you enjoyed this demo of Cellebrite.